Hi there, I'm Bobby Ogilvy, Project Manager and Professional Coach. Today's question, how do I coach someone? So, as you may have seen from some of the other videos, coaching is a conscious relationship. It's a conscious contract you enter into. You can be coach-like in other aspects of your life, but coaching starts with basically the two people agreeing to coaching, right? Which normally means one person is being coached, they're the client, and one person is doing the coaching, they're the coach, right? You may want to add more parameters around that in terms of how frequent the sessions are, how long overall it's going to last, this many weeks, this many months, etc. And what money is going to be exchanged. Even in actually, I should say, in terms of your ICF standards, there is a bucket of about, I think for the ACCs as much as a quarter, and I think overall it becomes maybe more like 10% of your hours, of your contact hours can be pro bono, unpaid volunteer hours, right? And so obviously as a coach, most of your clients are going to be paid clients, but you do have a bit of that flexibility if this isn't a paying contract. And there would be good reasons too why you might want to do that. And part of it's to give back, part of it's because maybe there's a target market that you really want to serve, and so if you find a good candidate for that who can't fit your normal fee structure, you got some options. How do I coach someone? You may have heard me mention before coaching arc, right? So every coaching session starts with a topic and a request. And the topic is just to say, here's the area I'm working on. The request is here's where I want to get to by the end of the session. The arc proceeds with aspects of discovering and exploring what this problem, what this area, what this topic is, and particularly how they experience it, what it means to them, the issues it's causing in their life. In some sense, it's almost like what are the root causes in play of this, or conflicts, or however you want to frame that. And then it becomes a bit more solution-oriented, where you're trying to figure out what new views, what new solutions, what new ways of approaching this are better, could lead to that. And again, it's trying to be client-centered, so a lot of this is asking the right questions to lead them to thinking about these things, to lead them to coming up with a solution. Hopefully you have a state change near the end of it, which is some sense of release. And it could be just you check in at the end of it and, what's different now than when we started? Or it could be, sometimes you're hearing from a client, like, it's like a big yes, you're big, like, big breath of air or something like that. And, like, you will, even if you're just doing phone-based stuff or web-based stuff, you will feel that difference, right? And then it concludes with, one, you want a bit of affirmation, particularly if someone's really been kind of exposing themselves and vulnerable, disclosing with you. You want to affirm that. You want to also affirm what the strong, good values, the best self kind of values that they're embodying throughout that session are, right? Great job doing this. I really liked how you brought forward your authenticity, and I liked how you put forward your kind of distracted mind so you could focus on the things that were priority and, a committed sense of strategy, something like that, right? And then the last part of it is really just the action follow-up, the commitment, which is how you want to start to bring it into your life. And really, this is kind of where the rubber hits the road, in that, that 1 hour session is, it's you can get so much value out of that, but taking it into your life is really how it's going to start to transform your life, right? And so having those good commitments and follow-ups is important, and then it also naturally leads into the next session, because you start the next session with saying, hey, so, a week ago, 2 weeks ago when we talked, you were supposed to do blah, how did that go? A lot of coaches too, they will, it's not just, we'll wait till 2 weeks till the next session before we'll find out about it. It will be like, when you do this thing, like, do this in the next 2 days, do this in the next 3 days, and the client agrees to it, and, email me when you got it, text me when you got it. You're trying to, as quickly as possible, get people to play off that. In fact, there's one technique called power coaching, right? You can get someone in this kind of energized state, particularly if there's something they weren't able to take on, and then as part of the kind of momentum of quickly doing something in the sense of, what, this is possible, and then this is possible, and this is possible, you get them to quickly do actions, and they might be able to do it in 30 seconds or a minute or two, and you could do a few of those, and then it really quickly pumps them up to be like, holy frig, I do have a lot of capacity, I do have a lot of power, right? And so often in situations like that, it'll be like, do this in the next hour, do this before the end of the night, and send me that text to confirm that you've done this, right? Those are all great ways to kind of to coach someone else in terms of getting those results in their actual life. I'm trying to think if there's any other points that we need to go over. How do you coach someone? I mean, if you're serious about being a coach, there's other videos around how you can get into coaching, and it basically relates to finding a training program, getting enough contact hours, and getting your professional designation from ICF, and anything else which is going to make you kind of an expert master in a certain area. So coaching is about solving those types of problems, right? And then as a basic kind of view, coaching is about trying to help people and believing in their potential, right? So ultimately, if that is a view that makes sense and resonates with you, it means, at least from a viewpoint standpoint, you have that potential to be a good coach. So I'm glad that you're interested in coaching, and hopefully, whether you're a manager, whether you're someone who wants to help other people, or whatever your context is, that it can not just add some value to your life, but it particularly add some value to the people that you're serving. I'm Bobby Ogilvie, Project Manager and Professional Coach.